Well, if I was to think back to my childhood of a young whippersnapper and many others probably, they would think of the N64 as one of the greatest moments of their lives, possibly getting it for Christmas or otherwise. The N64 was a beautiful beast to behold, and it was our first glimpse into 3D graphics in their all incredibleness. Staring at the game section in Blockbuster was a rite of passage and a beautiful sight to behold as well. The N64 makes for a classic collector's item, but in modern world where nothing is real, emulation and ROMs make it easy to get the N64 and its myriad of games up and running in no time at all. So let's check it out, motherfuckers! Well, when I can think back to my childhood, there is one game that brings me a lot of joy. A time before taxes and getting up and having to go to work in the morning made you lose your sense of life and childhood happiness. And that game is no other than Diddy Kong Racing. And if you haven't played Diddy Kong Racing for the N64, I encourage you to do it right now because it is stellar, even in 2022. This game in 4K 60 FPS is fabulous, and it's one of the best racing kart sims ever. It truly brings you just so much happiness and joy playing it, and the controls are so smooth and fluent that it like makes you really get addicted to it. There's a little bit of a learning curve at first, but once you nail it down, you're just set and you're starting to win races, and I'm sure that there's been many friendships ended over a Diddy Kong Racing match. It's such a pleasant game. Everything is so wonderful and happy and childlike. You really lose yourself in it, and the mechanics of it are so simple to understand, but yet so difficult to master. You got your multiple vehicles, hovercraft, plane, and your cart, I guess you'd call it. And many characters to choose from, and it's just such a unique game, you know. It just kind of came out and it was just there, and for some reason it was just so amazing. I think one of the things that lends to how amazing it is in particular is the story mode. And the story mode is kind of like an open world, well, very small open world, but such a thing even exists. And you can explore around and find all different characters, and you know, as a kid, this just felt so huge, you know? Gigantic world for you to race and play in, and this is a game that would just be amazing if they, you know, kind of redid and remade and maybe even had like a new version of this for Switch. I would just love that. I would just love that. Brand new Diddy Kong Racing, oh my goodness. This game has nostalgia up the yin yang. If you're old enough to have played it, oh my fucking goodness, the nostalgia just kicks you. I remember as a kid, it was a game that I would go to a nice day. I wouldn't have any worries to think about or anything to have to fucking deal with. It was just playing this game and getting better and beating the end. It's a relatively short game, but you will get there. And I'm sure that there's infinite replayability with multiplayer. Now, Diddy Kong Racing is actually like very accessible today, and playing it in 4K 60 FPS is just a dream. It just runs like a dream. It's such a beautiful game. It's like that kiddiness that fucking Mario has and shit. It just makes you feel so good inside, and some of the traps and tricks on the map are so sweet. Such a sweet game. Literally could not give this game more praise if I wanted to, honestly, but fuck it, here I am. This game is kind of unique feeling. It feels like no other game in the world for some weird, unexplainable fucking reason that makes no sense whatsoever. It just feels like one in a million, you know what I mean? It's kind of a game. Now it is at times quite frustrating. It's a little bit of a fucking little dandy bitch to do sometimes, but once you get the hang of it, it's such a sweet system. It's almost like a physics to it all. And the locales are so nice. Everything is just, like I said, pleasant, weird, wonderful world of Nintendo is at its brightest here. The colors, the look of it all, it's actually quite impressive even to look at today. I mean, what they did here was just tried to make something like Mario Kart, but I don't know, just the right magic must have came together with the development team, because they just somehow fucking smack nabbed it on the ass, you know what I mean? It's just like all the pieces came together, and I can just imagine 1990, whatever it was, all the people working on this, and they just released it to so much praise. It was a game that was like pretty much essential to have back in the day. Such a fucking cool game, and I would recommend 150% if you haven't played it to check it out. Now, of course, this is like many of Nintendo's classics for the N64. It got remade for the DS, and it's actually pretty good thing to have come out. But like I said, they could make a renewal, if you would call it, similar to Mario Kart 8. They could make it like this, and it would be ultimate. Because in my opinion, this is one of the best kart racers that there is in the world ever made. Mario Kart 8 has a strong contention, but between the two of them, you're in for kart racing heaven. And there you have it. One of my favorite games of all time, just for the nostalgia and just for the wonder and charm alone. Diddy Kong Racing is just such a fucking amazing game. It's such an amazing game. I give it a solid 9.9 out of 10. Just for some fucked up reason. Diddy Kong Racing. The fucking GOAT.
Oh,